It's a sad truth, but America has become a nation of moochers. We'd rather sit around in mom's basement, eat Funyuns, and hoover up Biden's generous welfare payouts. According to a new study, unemployment benefits and ObamaCare subsidies outpace the median income in several states, meaning those folks are making more dough than your average firefighter or truck driver for doing nothing. And the free ride gets better in 3 states. Those benefits come out to over $100,000. Making matters worse, nearly half of Americans age 18 to 29 are living with their parents. This is embarrassing. Will, I will start with you. When we were young, there was some shame living at home in your late 20s. And I'm one of those guys who moved out really young, like 28. But no, stick with that. But honestly, do you think we need to bring back shame a little bit? Because I feel like we've collectively as a society just lowered the bar.
If shame will do the trick, bring back shame. Because this is highly concerning at a deep cultural level. This morning on Fox Friends, we had Tony Robbins on the program, and this stat came up. Did you know that in 1968, 97% of working-age men were either working or looking for work?
Yeah.
Today, that number has dropped to 89%. You say, okay, 89, 97. Yeah. If 1 out of 10 men are totally disinterested in working, you're headed down quite honestly, it's a path we do not know where it leads.
Yeah.
We have had a culture where women have been in the home, worked in non-traditional, in terms of working place jobs. We've never had a society where men have simply not worked.
Yeah.
What does America look like with a bunch of men who want to sit around
you want to know
on
what
the
it looks
couch?
like? It looks like San Francisco. It looks like tents. It looks like squalor. It looks bad. I wanted to ask you this, okay? But if you have a point to add, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, what I was going to say is one of the reasons that we're having such a hard time with labor force participation is enhanced unemployment benefits.
Exactly.
They're almost making it harder on small businesses to hire because people want more money. But would you argue that the lesser-paying character-building jobs are probably more valuable in the long run than starting at a high salary?
I don't think there's any question but that the lesser-paying job that creates, you know, the essence of the American worker. I mean, what we're missing now, and what it looks like we're on a slippery slope to lose, is the idea of the concept of merit and initiative, and the idea of free ride, taking away the energy and the ambition and the initiative that makes this country such a great country. And, you know, it's almost like, you know, you see this socialism kind of here and there kind of wreak its way when you can live off the state, whether you call it unemployment or whatever you want to call it, I don't care. The money's coming from the government. And you don't have to work as hard. Then what happens is, you know, we lose a certain character in this country. And I think it's going to be very, very detrimental to this country going forward.
It's scary. JT, let me ask you this. If the lovely baby Cleo grows up to be a small business owner, she is going to have a harder time hiring because of Democrats. Are you prepared for the reality that you might be raising a Republican right now?
She's one. Like, she's concerned with her new
Answer the
unicorn.
question, Jessica.
Jessica. We love you.
I would like to say something about lifting kids out of child poverty. So I agree with everything that's been said, and I do think that some of the blame needs to go on parents, actually, for this, with these 18 to 29-year-olds. And it actually goes up to kind of almost to where I am, and Katie's a bit younger than me, but mid-millennial even, that there's the helicopter parenting and the coddling of all of this has made it so that kids don't actually feel scared to leave the home, right? And they've created an environment where it's just fun to be there anyway. But that is part of this. There's been a side effect of all of these increased benefits that I think we can all agree is a good thing. So because of the stimulus checks, unemployment, and especially the child tax credit, which unfortunately did go away last year, nearly 60% of kids who lived in poverty were lifted out of poverty in the last couple of years. That's a really big deal. And I'm not saying that means that we should have carte blanche and people should be earning $100 grand for doing nothing. But that's a result that we absolutely cannot turn a blind eye to.
Listen, I just think what it comes back to is self-reliance, and I feel like we've eroded that from a lot of today's population. But here's a superficial question. Back in the day, if you were a single guy who lived at home with his mom, you really couldn't get women. But now a lot of the women live at home with their moms, too. But is the problem still there because now they have nowhere to go?
I guess. I wouldn't know. But I do want to say something about just the cultural aspect of this and what people understand about benefits and getting money from the state and getting money from the government. That means a fellow American is paying your way. That means someone else is going to work on your behalf. Someone else is paying taxes. Someone is going to make sure that the government has what they need to pay out $100,000 for people so they can say that they don't have to go to work. And this idea, and this also comes back to this illegal immigration problem that we have. A lot of people say Americans don't want to do the jobs that illegal immigrants will come to do. Well, maybe it's because they can rake in $100,000 for not doing those jobs. And there is dignity in work no matter what the job is. And so when you have the government subsidizing non-workers, that's why those jobs aren't getting done, and why people don't want to start in jobs that make it so you can climb the ladder, whether it's working at McDonald's or working at a restaurant like I did, or working in a small family business like I did. And so the bottom line is that if you're not working and you're taking benefits, someone else is working for you. And that used to be something that people didn't want in this country.
Now, the pride of ownership is a big deal, just knowing you made something for yourself. Like, I can tell you, there's a cab driver who drove 12 hours a day, knowing I'd wake up every morning knowing I made myself a hangover from the stress of the job the night before. But no, it's getting out there and contributing to your own well-being. We gotta run.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.